time. Let me take you to the WikiLeaks guy, Julian Assange. He's now saying that if he's arrested, he'll unload a massive slew of documents that are going to be released anyway, including uncensored documents with files on BP and Guantanamo Bay. He's already circulated an encrypted poison pill, as he calls it, around the internet. So if they arrest him, he gives the code, and tens of thousands of people can release those documents, which will be released anyway. This is global extortion. It's a fascinating story, but the most important part of the story is being omitted by the media. His motivation. He's not a good guy. In 2006, in an essay, he included a quote from, what a surprise, the founder of the Progressive Party, Teddy Roosevelt. Quote, "To destroy this invisible government, to befoul this unholy alliance between corrupt business and corrupt politics is the first task of statesmanship." I am really torn on this story. It all sounds all good and well, doesn't it? I mean, who doesn't want transparency? It's what Barack Obama campaigned on. Unfortunately, chaos is not transparency. Creating chaos is something totally different. Creating chaos creates an atmosphere where it destroys everything. His goal is not to hold people's feet to the fire. His goal is to destroy the regime. His words, not mine. He is what the media called the Tea Party. He is anti-government. The Tea Party is not. The Tea Party is about transparency. It is about an end of corruption. It is about limited and small government. WikiLeaks is about anti-government and creating chaos. And Julian Assange is not alone in that. There are forces from the uber left that we have been telling you about. And God help me, I don't know why other networks are not covering these things. But they are planting the seeds of chaos. And then they come out openly and call for violence. But the media is silent. We have shown you all of the communists that are here saying these things. They're so worried about violence from the right and the Tea Parties. Anyone with a "Don't Tread on Me" flag painted as some sort of violent lunatic. That got them into a frenzy, and Nancy Pelosi was crying so hard. But nobody seems to care about the violent rhetoric from the uber left. Let me just show you some of the things. This isn't the violent rhetoric. These are just the nudges. Representative Luis Gutierrez, according to the Daily Beast, is ready to lead a Latino revolt and says if the immigration bill, the DREAM Act, goes down, he's ready to ditch Obama and the Democrats, and he is prepared to recreate the 1960s. Quote, when black people in this country decided they were going to fight for civil rights and for voting rights, and they didn't ask if the majority leader was with them or when they were going to tee up the bill. They said, we're sitting here and we're going to sit on the bus. We're integrating this country. We're going to march. He has plenty of allies to help him do that, and you need to see them when we come back. I want to show you some new video that came in over the weekend. We have Van Jones saying that violence is coming. We have well, let's start here. We have Senator Claire McCaskill. She's so wrapped up in her class warfare, and remember that, class warfare, that if the Bush tax cuts are extended, she believes it's time for the American people to get the pitchforks.
I will tell you this. If they think it's okay to raise taxes for the embattled middle class because they're gonna pout if we don't give more money to millionaires, jeez, it really is time for the people of America to take up pitchforks.
You're gonna give the rich money, or are you just going to start taking more of their money? These people actually believe it's their money. You haven't done jack for a piece of my money. I work hard for my money, Claire. Sorry. Ronald Reagan Jr. said in the fight for social justice over the weekend that the ends justify the means. Listen to this.
Does the purpose of social justice, the purpose of equity, of a better America justify bare-knuckle politics? Not just hardball,
yes.
bare-knuckle politics.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, if
How
you're in
about
a knife
brass
fight,
knuckle?
you bring a knife or bring a gun, if that's it. If you're fighting for social justice, you do what you need to do to win.
Bring a gun. Van Jones, who I don't believe has ever denounced his past militant views about a violent overthrow of the U.S. government. It's just a tactic, remember. He, over the weekend, in all of the niceness he can muster, predicted civil unrest was coming. Listen.
And we're going to go into a tough period, a potential nightmare scenario, more and more ethnically diverse, more and more culturally diverse, more and more sociologically diverse, but less and less economically prosperous. More and more ethnically diverse, but less economically prosperous. If you know anything about history, that is not a recipe for a common ground. That's a recipe for a battleground. And you have opponents in this country who see the same scenario, and their answer is fear the diversity.
Absolutely.
Their answer is attack the diversity. Their answer is squeeze back on the immigrants.
Let's just go over this. More diverse in speech, more diverse culturally, and less diverse in income. This is Van Jones' nightmare scenario. More diverse in speech, more diverse culturally, less diverse in income. Who is it that says English only is racist? Is that the left or the right? Who says that we shouldn't melt into each other? We should celebrate our diversity, cultural, all cultural aspects of everybody's culture should be celebrated here. And who is the one that is engaging in class warfare? Is it the left or the right? Remember, this is his nightmare scenario. There is danger coming, and yet they are the ones saying expand, expand, and exploit. I'm sorry, but this is the bottom-up, top-down, and inside-out theory. Here, you have it, top-down. You've got the people in power up at the top, appointed by the president. You have them here. They are organizing the bottom layer. They are organizing people to stand up, to turn us inside out. You have Latinos being organized. You have unions now being organized in the unemployment battle. You have unions in our churches. It's the Czech Republic, 1948. Bottom being organized from the top. Now, if you think this is crazy, if you don't believe it yet, maybe you should see this clip from CNBC. I'd play it from Fox, but no. You've got to go to someone credible, I guess, to believe these things. An example of the top down, a report out now, what the Army and the military, the Pentagon, is doing, something they have done for years called Unified Quest. But listen to what this quest is this year. Watch.
In the Army, they're having a very interesting year-long exercise called Unified Quest 2011. And in that wargaming series, they're looking at the implications of large-scale economic breakdown inside the United States that would force the Army to keep, quote, domestic order among civil unrest and force the Army to deal with fragmented global power and drastically lower budgets. This according to the trade publication InsideDefense.com.
Okay, there is a lot more of this video that you need to see at theblaze.com. And we'll get into it some more tomorrow. That's posse comitatus. You can't do that. You see the road we're heading down. They know economics, the nightmare scenario that they are exploiting and designing. They are getting the people organized to rise up so then they can put the top down. We have talked about these things. They are happening. You've known about these things for what? How many years now? We've been telling you. You've been telling your friends. Radicals are creating the conditions to stage a revolution. I know it sounds crazy. I know how it sounds. You think I want to be the guy on TV telling you this every night? I don't. If you think I do, you're crazy. We're on the road to violence. You may not believe it, but the Pentagon does. More on that clip at theblaze.com. But none of it matters. None of it matters if you know what they're trying to do, if you understand their strategy, because then you have a choice. If you don't know what's going on, you're just swept into it like a little sheep. But you have a choice, And here it is. You can accept it. You can ignore it. You can cross your fingers and hope that all these economic problems will be magically wiped away by the mystical GM solar-powered plant that makes the new GM Hempmobile, powered completely by hemp and solar calculators, a reality. I personally think this is ridiculous, and I accept it. I logically, after doing my homework, accept it. I don't ask you to take my word on any of this. I urge you to do your own homework. Do not believe me or anyone else. Do your homework. Find out if these things are true and happening. And then come to a place of acceptance. But that is not, well, I'll be complacent. No, no. I will not be a part of it. I will instead be a part of the solution. If this is what they're trying to do, which it is, bottom up, top down, a nightmare scenario, you know how this diffuses? You know how this doesn't work? If you're calm, if you're peaceful, if you have firm reliance on divine providence. I've made my choice. By the end of the hour, I will ask you to make yours as well. You can stand up and say, no, I'm part of the solution. The choice is yours, America. It is. History is written every day by you. We just have to choose wisely. Back in a minute. You know, I've been telling you now for a while that there is no political solution to the problems we face. Not, at least not a simple one. Joe, would you write this down? Maybe tomorrow I'll do a part of the episode on the tree of problems. And it's a difficult one to answer politically because the answers have to be huge because our problems are. But they are also not easy, but simple answers. Education. You must educate yourself and turn to God. It's seemingly exactly what the Climate Change Council turned to in Cancun. I thought it was good news until I found out that it was first the earth god Gaia and then the jaguar goddess, which is, I don't, that might fit in the thou shalt not make any graven image, thing. I'm going to say no to the Mayan jaguar goddess, who also apparently is the goddess of the moon, earth, and war, creativity, and weaving. This was the prayer, or maybe it was just a statement, from the Executive Secretary of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, who invoked the ancient jaguar goddess in her opening statement to the delegates gathered in Cancun, Mexico, noting that the jaguar goddess was not only the goddess of the moon, but also, quote, the goddess of reason, creativity, and weaving. May she inspire you, because today you are gathered in Cancun to weave together the elements of a solid response to climate change using both reason and creativity as your tools. I am convinced that now, 20 years from now, we will admire the policy tapestry that you've woven together and think back fondly to Cancun and the inspiration of Ishel. Oh. I feel so warm and fuzzy inside. How about you? Is this the direction we want to travel in? Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to say, no. No, thank you.